Hello and welcome to another video by Day Night Gaming. In this video, we'll be taking Alchemist from level 60 to 70 in the MMORPG known as Final Fantasy XIV. Now before we begin, we need to purchase a couple items off the market board. Now these first two items must be high quality. So please purchase one high quality Draconian Potion of Strength and one high quality Noble Gold. And remember, these must be high quality. And then try to buy 3 high quality Growth Formula Edda. Now these are generally really cheap, but if you can't find any high quality versions, then instead buy 6 normal quality Growth Formula Edda. After that, you'll need to buy the following materials, and while it is okay to purchase these following items in normal quality, I do recommend instead purchasing as many as you can in high quality, because these crafts are extremely difficult. So if you don't plan on melding as much materia into your gear as I have, then instead purchase as much high quality materials as possible. So let's start off with 3 birch sap, 10 deep eye tears, 2 mog palm, 23 mog scales, 12 mithrite sand, 3 nigari, 17 pine resin, 34 rhino beetle carapace, and 1 volcanic rock salt. Alright, so here we are at the Alchemist Guild, and we're going to speak to Severian, the guild master, to accept the level 50 job quest known as Without a Trace. After that, we're going to head due west and speak to Dietrich, the guild receptionist. After that conversation, we're then going to take the teleport to Mordona by taking the Revenant's Toll teleport at the bottom of your teleport list. And please keep in mind that we're going to be returning to this spot quite often. So please remember where we're going. So once we arrive in Mordona, we're going to head due east just a little bit around the corner, and we're going to speak to Wiltwake. And like I said, we're going to be coming here quite often. So from the Aetheryte telepoint, we're going to pass the delivery Moogle and go around that corner just a little bit and speak to Wiltwake. After doing so, we're then going to turn in our certificate of appraisement. And after a lengthy conversation, we'll then get to accept our reward and complete the quest. So here we go, we're going to go ahead and complete. And after doing so, we're going to speak to Wiltwake again and accept the level 53 job quest known as Magic Marks the Spot. So here we go, we're going to go ahead and accept that now. And then from here, we're going to teleport to Limsa Lominsa. So we're going to take the Limsa Lominsa lower decks teleport. And then once we arrive at Limsa Lominsa, we're then going to take the Aetheryte telepoint to the Aft Castle. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So here we go, Aethernet, and then the top one, which is the Aft Castle. And it's going to teleport us to the upper decks. From here, we're going to head toward the Adventurers Guild. So we're going to head due west, and then we're going to head due north. And once we arrive at the Drowning Wench, we're then going to speak to Badrion, the Drowning Wench proprietor. And we're going to hand over the enciphered Mordonian map. Alright, so after speaking to Badrion, we're going to take the Revenant's teleport all the way at the bottom of the list and head back to Mordona, because we're going to have to speak to Wiltwake again. And like I said, we're going to be returning here quite often. So here we are, we're going to turn in the enciphered map. And then after a medium-sized dialogue, we're going to have to craft 3 high-quality enchanted mithrite ink. And because each one of these only yield 1, we're going to have to do this craft 3 times. Now please make sure you do the enchanted mithrite ink and not the enchanted mithril ink. So here we go, we're going to go ahead and synthesize. And because it has to be high quality, we're going to start off with Inner Quiet. And we're going to work on our quality bar first. Then we're going to do Waste Not 2. And then Innovation. And we're basically going to go Basic Touch, Standard Touch, all the way down to Durability 5. So here's the first one, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch. And we're still going to keep going, so Basic Touch again, Standard Touch, and then Basic Touch to bring us down to Durability 5. After that, we're going to use Master's Mend to bring our durability back up to 35. And even though my quality bar is maxed out, just in case yours isn't, you can keep going with working on your quality bar. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to do Innovation, and then we can do Basic Touch, Standard Touch. But make sure you don't go underneath durability 10. So as you can see here, once your quality bar is maxed out, go ahead and use Basic Synthesis, and that'll complete the craft. And we're going to go ahead and repeat this 2 more times, pretty much using the same rotation. Inner Quiet, Waste Not, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch down to durability 5, then Master's Mend to bring us back to durability 35. Then we're going to do Innovation if we need to, and then we can work on more Basic Touch and Standard Touch until we get to about durability 10, and then we can cap off with Basic Synthesis to complete the craft. Alright, so now that we have our 3 high quality enchanted mithrite ink, we're going to speak to Wiltwake and hand them over. After doing so, we're going to then head to St. Constance Find, so feel free to mount up on your flying mount, and we're gonna fly southeast to this nearby camp. And once we speak to Wiltwake, we're gonna go ahead and complete the quest. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're gonna teleport back to Mordona and speak to Wiltwake and accept the level 55 job quest known as From Hells. After that, go ahead and mount up, and then we're gonna head due north past the Aetherite Crystal into Rowena's House of Splendors and speak to Chanini. And we're gonna have to craft 3 high quality grade 1 intelligence solvent, but luckily since this recipe yields 3, we only have to do it once. But this craft is extremely difficult, so make sure you have your high quality blood bullet safe food and high quality cunning craftsman syrup. Alright, so I do also recommend using high quality materials. As you can see here, I've purchased some, but I'm going to go ahead and lower their quality down to normal quality just for sake of this video. But if you have access to high quality materials, definitely use those instead, because like I said, this craft is actually very difficult. Alright, so now I got my materials all set. Here we go. We're going to synthesize, and we have to get this as high quality, so it's very important. So our first ability is going to be Inner Quiet. Here we go. After that, Waste Not 2. And then Innovation. And then Basic Touch. Standard Touch. Basic Touch. Standard Touch. And then we still have 20 more durability. So we're going to do Basic Touch. Standard Touch. And Basic Touch one more time, bringing us to durability 5. After that, we're going to use Master's Mend to bring us back up to 35 durability. So we still have a lot more quality to go, and we're going to try and save as much durability as possible, so we're going to finish our quality bar in one shot. So we're going to go with Innovation, and then Great Strides, and then Fire God's Blessing. That should finish off the quality bar. And from there, we're going to use Veneration, and we're going to do 2 to 3 basic synthesis, depending on how much craftsmanship you have in your gear. And there we go. We've crafted 3 grade 1 intelligence dissolvents, all of them being high quality. And we're going to turn them into Rowena. So hand over. And there we go. Now we're going to head back to Wiltwake. And then after a quick dialogue, we're going to have to head back to the Alchemist Guild in Ulda and speak to Severian the Guildmaster. Alright, so after that we're going to turn in the Allegan Crozier. And after doing so, we're going to teleport back to Mordona and speak to Wiltwake to complete the quest. After doing so, we're then going to speak to Wiltwake again and accept the level 58 job quest known as Burden of Proof, which normally would require us to have a master tome recipe, but instead we already pre-purchased the item before the start of the video. So now that we have this quest, we're gonna head due west, past Revenant's Toll, and we're gonna speak to Chanini at Camp Revenant's Toll in the Fog Fens. After that, we're gonna teleport to Tailfeather. As you can see here. And once we arrive there, we're gonna head due west just a little bit past this bridge and speak to the estranged sister and hand over the log. And then we're gonna teleport back to Mordona and speak to Wiltawake again and hand over the log that the estranged sister didn't want. And then we're gonna speak to Chanini to complete the quest and turn in our high quality draconian potion of strength that we purchased earlier in the video. After that, we're going to speak to Wiltawake again and accept the level 60 job quest known as What Death Can Join Together. After doing so, feel free to mount up and we're going to head towards St. Constance Find again, and we're going to speak to Chanini. So here we are at St. Constance Find. And after a quick dialogue, from there, we're gonna mount back up and we're gonna head back towards Mordona. About halfway through, there's gonna be a red ruins platform or building or some type of red structure. And from there, we're gonna speak to Chanini again. After doing so, we're going to teleport back to Mordona and speak to Wiltawake. After that, we're then going to teleport to Ulda and head to the Alchemist Guild and speak to Severian, the Guildmaster. And then we're going to head back to Mordona and speak to Wiltawake. And then we're going to turn in the high quality noble gold that we purchased at the beginning of the video. And then from there, we're going to speak to Wiltawake again to complete the quest. Now, if you've been following my videos, you'll notice that for this very specific video, we're only going to be hitting about halfway through 62 in our job quest. And we need to be level 63 when we start our Lev quest. So we're going to actually have to turn in a Lev quest before we can equip our first set of gear. So now we're going to teleport to the city of Kugane, and we're going to start doing our Lev quest from here on out. So once we arrive, we're going to veer due northwest, just a few steps past the Aetheryte Crystal, and we're going to head toward Keltrang the Levman. And once we get there, we're going to accept the level 60 Lev quest known as Magic Beans. Now this is a really good Lev quest, so we're gonna take this all the way up to level 64. Now, we've already purchased 3 high quality growth formula Adas at the beginning of this video, so we're gonna turn those 3 in now to Chantine. And after we hand over all 3 high quality growth formula Adas, you'll notice that we finally did hit level 63. So from here, we're now going to equip our gear that we're going to use for the rest of this video. Now please keep in mind that you do not have to meld your gear as deeply as I have, but you will need a bare minimum of 454 CP in order to complete the rotations that I'll be using in this video. And that's after all food and buffs have been applied. And if you do not have as much control as I do, you can supplement your quality bar by using high quality materials when you're crafting. So we're going to speak to Keltrang the Levman, and we're going to grab the level 60 Lev quest known as Magic Beans. And this time we're actually going to manually craft them because we are level 63 at this point. So let's go ahead and bring up our crafting menu, and we're going to type in Growth Formula Eda. And as you can see here, I'm using normal quality materials, but you can use high quality materials, but make sure you definitely eat your high quality Blood Bowl safe food and your high quality Cunning Craftsman syrup before you craft. That way you can get your stats up. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and synthesize. And we're going to start off with Inner Quiet, followed by Waste Not 2, then Innovation. Then we're going to do Basic Touch, followed by Standard Touch, then Basic Touch again, then Standard Touch. And we're going to keep doing this until we get to Durability 5. So Basic Touch again, Standard Touch, and then Basic Touch. And here you go, as you can see, we're at Durability 5. So now we're going to use Master's Mend to get us back up to Durability 35. Alright, so now that we got our Durability up, we're going to finish off our Quality bar. So we don't have much more to go, so we're going to hit Innovation. And then after that, we're going to hit Great Strides. And then we're going to finish off with God's Blessing, which should get us to 100% quality. So then we're going to work on our progress, so Veneration, and then Careful Synthesis. And if you need to, you might need to do it one more time. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So the rotation is going to be Inner Quiet, Waste Not 2, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, down to Durability 5, then Master's Mend, Innovation, Great Strides, God's Blessing, Veneration, and ending off with 1 or 2 Careful Synthesis. Alright, so now that we've crafted those, we're going to turn them into Chanteen. So hand over, yes, complete, submit additional, yes, hand over, yes, complete, submit additional, yes, hand over, yes, and complete. And now as you can see here, we're level 64. So now we can move up to the next Lev quest. So we're going to speak to Caltrang the Levmet, and we're going to be grabbing the level 64 Lev quest known as Asking for a Friend. Now it's very important. Now I'm going to be showing you a rotation that we're going to be using, but when you get to about level 67, we're going to change this rotation because your craftsmanship is going to be a lot higher than what's needed for muscle memory. So we can't use that opener once we get to level 67. But at this point in time, because the craft is hard, we need to use it. So for this rotation, we're going to start off with muscle memory. And as you can see here with the efficiency calculator for progress, we're going to get 651 out of 793, so we're still okay. After muscle memory, we're going to use Inner Quiet. Then we're going to use Waste Not 2. Then we're going to use Innovation, then Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, bringing us to Durability 10. Now we have to use Master's Mend to get up to 40 Durability. Then we're going to use Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Great Strides, and then we're going to finish off our quality bar with God's Blessing. Now we can use Careful Synthesis to finish off our progress. And there we go. We've crafted a high quality beetle glue. So now we're going to go ahead and repeat this 2 more times. So Muscle Memory, Inner Quiet, Waste Not 2, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Master's Mend to Durability 40, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Great Strides, By our God's blessing to finish off our quality bar, and ending with another careful synthesis to finish off our progress bar. Alright, so now we're going to turn these into Chantine. So hand over, yes. Complete. And then submit additional, yes. Hand over, yes. Complete. And then our third one, submit additional, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so now we're going to speak to Tradecraft Leves, and we're going to be grabbing the level 64 Lev quest known as Asking for a Friend. So just like before, we're going to be using the same rotation. So muscle memory, inner quiet, waste not 2, innovation, basic touch, standard touch, basic touch, standard touch, master's mend, bringing us back up to 40 durability, then innovation, basic touch, standard touch, great strides, by our God's blessing to finish off our quality bar, and ending the craft with careful synthesis. Alright, so now we're going to turn these into Chantine. So hand over, yes. Complete. And then submit additional, yes. Hand over, yes. Complete. And then our third one, submit additional, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so now we're going to speak to Tradecraft Leves, and we're going to be grabbing the level 64 Lev quest known as Asking for a Friend. But please keep in mind, from here on out, even though we're still going to be crafting high quality beetle glue, we're going to be using a different rotation from here on out, because our craftsmanship stat should be too high now to use muscle memory. So please keep that in mind. So we're going to still be crafting high quality beetle glue, but we're going to start off with inner quiet this time. So as you can see there, inner quiet, followed by waste not 2, innovation, then we're going to do basic touch, standard touch, basic touch, standard touch, basic touch, standard touch, and then basic touch to get us to durability 5. Now that we're at durability 5, we're going to use master's mend to get us to durability 35. Then we're going to work on finishing our quality bar. So we're going to do innovation, great strides, by our God's blessing. Now we need to work on our progress, so we're going to do veneration, followed by 2 careful synthesis to finish off the progress bar. And now that we've done that, we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So remember, the rotation is going to be inner quiet, waste not 2, innovation, basic touch, standard touch, basic touch, standard touch, basic touch, standard touch, basic touch, getting down to durability 5, then master's mend, innovation, great strides, by our God's blessing, veneration, then 2 to 3 careful synthesis to complete the craft. Alright, so now we're going to turn these into Chanteen. So hand over, yes. Complete. And then submit additional, yes. Hand over, yes. Complete. And then our third one, submit additional, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so now we're going to speak to Keltring the Levement, and we're going to be grabbing the level 64 Lev quest known as Asking for a Friend. Alright, so once again we're going to be crafting 3 high quality beetle glue. So we're going to be using the same rotation as previous. So Inner Quiet, Waste Not 2, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch. Getting down to Durability 5, then using Master's Mend to get back up to Durability 35. Then Innovation, Great Strides, By Our God's Blessing, Veneration, then 2 Careful Synthesis. Alright, so now we're going to turn these into Chanteen. So hand over, yes. Complete. And then submit additional, yes. Hand over, yes. Complete. And then our third one, submit additional, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so now we're going to speak to Keltring the Levement, and we're going to be grabbing the level 64 Lev quest known as Asking for a Friend. Alright, so once again we're going to be crafting 3 high quality beetle glue. So we're going to be using the same rotation as previous. So Inner Quiet, Waste Not 2, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch. Getting down to Durability 5, then using Master's Mend to get back up to Durability 35. Then Innovation, Great Strides, By Our God's Blessing, Veneration, then 2 Careful Synthesis. Alright, so now we're going to turn these into Chanteen. So hand over, yes. Complete. And then submit additional, yes. Hand over, yes. Complete. And then our third one, submit additional, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so now we're going to speak to Keltring the Levement, and we're going to be grabbing the level 64 Lev quest known as Asking for a Friend. So at this point in time, we only have to craft 2 high quality beetle glue, because at this point we're pretty deep into level 69 and we're almost at level 70. So we're going to be using the same rotation as previous. So Inner Quiet, Waste Not 2, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch. Getting down to Durability 5, then using Master's Mend to get back up to Durability 35. Then Innovation, Great Strides, By Our God's Blessing, Veneration, then 2 Careful Synthesis. Alright, so now that we've crafted our high quality beetle glue, we only have to turn one in because our EXP is pretty high. So we're going to speak to Chantine and hand over our high quality beetle glue, and we're going to complete. Now if you want, you could turn in your second one, but you're only going to get 6,000 EXP for it. So it's up to you if you want to sell it or if you want to turn it in. Alright, so here we go, we're level 70. Bada bing, bada boom. And because we don't need to turn in a third one, we're going to go ahead and complete the order, which will finish this quest off, and it'll say Lev Quest complete. Thank you, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, consider hitting that thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing that bell for future notifications on videos that I might be posting in the future. And in case you're interested in supporting the channel even more, I do have a merch website at streamlabs.com/DNGdangerous/merch. And until next time, take care, goodbye.